Welcome back to the Truth and Theory podcast. This is episode number 90. I'm your host, JP. This is your other new host.
What's up? Co-host David Quadnet here again.
Yep. We got E. Willie on the sidelines.
Where's he at?
He's here.
Do the Batman line where are you? And so I can say my Batman part. Do it. One of y'all do it.
Where are you?
Here.
Oh, here.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Hiding in the
Where's
corner.
Rachel? I'm
Um,
off camera tonight, guys, but yeah, I might make an appearance if you're lucky. Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Ooh. Got him shaved. He's slick as a weasel.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Let's do cheers to good news.
All right.
Let's let our guest go first.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Guest host.
Just cheers to you guys right here. How's it going, bud? Yeah, we all got the good news like always. You guys do it well. My good news, man, me and the wife, we're closing on a house next week. So
Nice.
a lot of big things happening in our lives. So
That's awesome.
It's been crazy. I don't know how much you guys know how the market's going this year, but it's insane, and we got lucky. So
Dude, the fact that you're closing on the house right now makes me
Yeah.
think you're stupid rich.
nah, dude, I'm not, man. I'm just lucky. All right, that's all it
Houses
is.
are expensive
Yeah,
right
dude.
now.
We've placed offers on houses that have gone 100K over asking.
Yeah. It's
Stupid,
insane.
man. Yeah, you'll never see that equity in your life. So we got lucky. We didn't do anything close to that or anything like that. So
Nice.
yeah,
Are
that's
you in
my
the
good
town that
news.
you wanted to?
Yeah, dude, we live like 2 blocks from where we are now.
That's so awesome.
Wow,
I'm
easy
happy
move.
for you guys.
Yeah,
Long time
congratulations.
renter.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
So thanks. That is my good news. And
That's
life
some
is a
great
lot-
news.
It's a lot less stressful now. So
Yeah.
We said cheers to
that.
good news, not
Yeah.
cheers to great news, David. Don't one up our show.
That's all I got. Everything else is not good.
Yeah. My good news, I didn't wet myself today. See, that's
Nice.
as easy as that, man. You don't got to go
Solid, dude.
be
You
a
didn't wet
hero.
yourself?
Yeah, for once. It's a good day.
Nice.
No, it's, I don't really have good news. It's just it was a nice day. I enjoyed it.
Happy
was
to
a
be
hot one.
alive.
Yeah, just happy to be here.
Nice.
My cheers to good news is I'm going through a lot of personal drama right now, as you guys know in the previous episodes. But cheers to having solid friends during this process. Makes the world a difference, and things will get better soon. If you're going through a divorce out there with me, guys, it sucks, but it'll get better.
Yeah.
Life's a roller coaster.
You can't-
And
you're
let's
doing
ask
well.
our
Yeah.
guest. You guys introduce our guest, and let's ask him to give us some good news too, even though we gave him zero preparation on it.
Yep. We have the
On the spot, good news.
great Jay Henehan with us tonight.
I'm gonna.
What's
show
up,
him.
guys? What's happening? How you doing?
Yo.
Good, man. How's it going?
Doing great, man. So my good news is in the face of a tumultuous personal life, everything professional has been going very well. So podcast, job, other jobs, shit's going good.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's
You know.
beautiful. What's the name of your podcast, sir? Plug
Uh,
that some bitch.
I run the How to Kill a Sacred Cow podcast.
Yes.
How to kill a sacred
Nice.
cow. Where'd you come up with that name? That is interesting.
Well, the thing about like finding a name for a podcast is to find the one that you like the most that's not already taken.
Yep.
True.
So like I ran through like 50 different names, and I was kind of thinking of like To Kill a Mockingbird, and I was like, well, To Kill a Sacred Cow, it doesn't really make sense. So I was kind of thinking like the tagline could be, well, the tagline is, how do you kill a sacred cow? You talk about it. So the whole point of the show is just like everything is on the table. You talk
Right.
about anything and everything. Originally, it was actually supposed to be like a bridge between the left and the right. I created the show at the end of 2019. And I was just trying to like mend some of the division that was going on, but 2020 kind of fucked that up. So
Yeah.
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 That's rough.
What happened in 2020, man? I've been asleep.
I don't know. There was something about a virus, and
Sounds
I
made
think
up.
I think it was because Nancy Pelosi tore up Donald Trump's speech at the State of the Union. I think that's what let the virus out.
It's
So.
fair.
Yeah, that's a good trigger point, man.
Yeah,
You'd think she would do that off camera, but she made sure to do it on camera.
yeah, man. It got a lot of Twitter likes, so
Mhm.
whatever. It's probably what she was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got paid for doing that. So there's your first problem.
Oh,
Each
she
tear
doesn't need
was
to get paid for shit, man.
25
She's all
grand.
set. She's all
Oh,
set with
definitely.
money. She's
Yeah.
fine.
The collusion is real.
Man, have you seen her house out in California? How big that damn thing is? She lives in a
No, but I can see it in my mind's eye. I can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
she lives in a giant cunty mansion.
Of course she does.
I am the Wizard of Oz in this episode, guys. The voice from the podcast.
Do not look behind the curtain.
I am the energy ball that sits in between David and JP. What's that guy on the Power Rangers that was like their head dude? It was literally a
Oh,
head.
Zordon, dude.
Yeah,
Zordon. I'm
yeah.
Zordon. I'm coming from that energy ball. Oh, I did not even turn my phone off on
Oh,
silent.
amateur hour over here. This is supposed to be episode 90. This is
Jay, you
first
muted
time.
yourself, bro.
All right, I was trying to be professional, but I'll explain what went wrong. And I'm back. Yeah, I was trying to press the space bar for when I'm not talking, but my wireless connection is terrible, so I'm just gonna leave it on. We'll do that.
Just leave
Yeah,
it
no,
on.
no.
This is a very
Man,
professional
Let
podcast.
it rock.
we're
Couple of
just
boneheads.
just adding to it. Yeah, people used to make fun of me because I'd step out of lunch in elementary school and start talking to my watch. But who's fucking laughing now? Everybody's talking to their
Yeah.
watch.
It's real.
Suck it, bitches.
Oh,
You're ahead of the curve, man.
hey, man, you know.
Well,
Tonight's topic is going to be brought to you by Mr. J. You want to tell? I'm sure you have a prettier sentence and description for this topic, other than JP and I could come up with. What where do you even start with this, man? Break it down.
Right. So I wanted to come on and talk about sci-fi predictive programming, which is the idea that ideas and memes are slipped into science fiction novels and movies to prep the population for whatever's coming on down the line. And this only became a topic of interest for me because I've always been fascinated with sci-fi movies and books. It
Yes.
started when I woke up one morning at the age of 6 years old, and I walk into the living room. My mom's not awake yet, and I see a VHS sitting on the table. I was like, Terminator 2, what the hell is that?
yeah.
And I popped that bad boy in the tape player, and my life hasn't been the same since. I've been waiting for Skynet to go live, which I feel like is like any moment now.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, and that that's where I think I got my interest in conspiracy theories was from sci-fi.
That's awesome. I never heard that before, and that made my brain kick in too. But I never connected the dots that I actually started thinking about futuristic, apocalyptic type shit happening due to technology. But yeah, you're right, man. Judgment Day was a hell of a movie in its time.
Dude, and then the other one that comes to mind is Ex Machina. Have you seen that?
Oh, that's a
Absolutely,
great
yeah.
movie.
Machina is another good
Forgot about
one.
that movie. That's a really good movie.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the Turing test was until I saw that movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that guy that plays the billionaire or whatever, he's actually one of my favorite actors. Like he was in Star Wars, the last three horrific.
Yeah, Oscar. What's his name? Oscar what?
I forget. I don't even know his name. I just love him.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
he's a great actor.
Yeah. He pops in like rom-coms from time to time. If I'm like with a girl and she's watching a rom-com, I'm like, oh shit, it's the dude.
Yeah,
He
the
was great in
dude.
Star Wars.
I've got to pay the bills.
I'll be honest, man. I didn't like him as the bad guy in X-Men though. I thought that was a terrible casting choice, and it just looked off. What do you think?
Which X-Men
He
movie
played-
was that?
He played. It was one of the bigger ones that they did towards the end, where he was like the apocalypse guy, like the bluish gray destroyer of all things, like the Thanos of X-Men.
Yeah, I might have missed that one. I don't think I saw it.
He's not recognizable in it because he's wearing so much makeup and like he's got a whole different look. But it just seemed like an off choice because that guy, I think he's like 5'8", 5'9". He's not a very big guy, and that character in comic books and stuff was ginormous and like just a huge specimen of a alien type creature
Yeah.
that was born in the desert or some shit. Like I don't know. He's
It's like in Egypt.
yeah, he's like supposed to be like trips the end of the world and into the rapture and all that kind of stuff. But it just seemed like an odd choice. He looked like, I think the Oscar guy has like this is gonna sound very homosexual, but hey, it is what it is. He's got very sweet eyes. Like you can tell he's got like a lot going on, and he doesn't look like a freaking Egyptian warlord. He looks like
I
somebody
mean-
you'd have some wine with and maybe cuddle. I don't know.
He's a very sweet man.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, the dude's pretty. Like I
he's
mean,
pretty. He's got nice eyes, man. I
you
feel
know,
safe
I'm
with him.
not.
You ever look straight into him? It's like the first time I heard the Beatles.
Yeah,
Shout out to Oscar. We don't know your name, but we love your eyes. I'm gonna put a picture of him up right now.
Oh, he's so pretty.
Look at that handsome man. Just
yeah,
want to tell
no,
him secrets.
And speaking of X-Men was actually, if you go back and you read the comic books and you watch the '90s cartoons, which were phenomenal.
Yeah, especially that intro.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun,
Oh
dun-dun.
Yeah, that was like prepping people for the social justice type of warrior shit, because
Ooh.
the whole thing was that nobody can accept these mutants, for who they are, and it's not their fault. They just mutated because of evolution or
Yeah, that's
radiation or
Portland,
whatever
Oregon.
like that.
Just beasts, though.
Yeah.
Just Beast. Beast was a bitch, dude. Beast,
All that cool shit, and all he's gonna do is read books. Come on, man. Do
he should be
something else with
tearing
that blue shit.
Yeah, he should be tearing motherfuckers' face off. Like you ever hear that phone call of the lady that's calling her friends getting her face ripped off by her chimpanzee?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that was wild. I know a crazy
That's-
story about that too. Not that, but a lady that used to, when I worked in the zoo world when I was in my early 20s, there was a lady that had spider monkeys, and she raised spider monkeys, and we had two of the ones that she could no longer keep, and she had one that was like her fucking baby. He slept with her all the time. He was like, everything she did, he was with her at all times. And one day she was on the rag, and he lost his shit and just attacked the fuck out of her. Like,
Jesus.
he went fucking spider monkey on her, man. Like, he just bit her and like attacked her, and they had to get rid of him. And we enjoyed him at the zoo, but yeah, he never attacked me. I never got on the rag around him, but it yeah. Monkeys are creepy, man. When the shit gets interesting around them, they fucking have a mind of their own.
See, now, do you think that's a tie between like apes and humans, to be like they can sense that, like that's their mating type deal?
Yeah,
Like,
it was
they're
definitely
just
like he smelled the
I'm getting that.
pheromones and shit. Yeah,
Bizarre, man. Dogs
mean,
don't
I have
do that. Cats don't do that. Not to people.
that's how I got to this planet, man. I'm half monkey, half I'm half squirrel monkey, half man. That's why I got a little penis. I can say all kinds of shit because I'm not on camera.
Yeah, it totally absolves you of everything, dude. Don't worry about it. I got a friend who swears
real.
that
It's just an energy ball,
I got a friend that swears he could smell a woman's menstrual cycle,
dude.
like just like in the room.
Holy
I'm
shit,
like-
dude! Fun story. It's so crazy you just said that. I just told a friend of mine that I can do that as well. I have, and I'm pretty sure my daughter got that ability too. It's our shittiest X-Men power ever. But
That's a real thing. You can smell it.
I have like dog sense of smell, man. I could smell like all kinds of shit that I don't want to smell. And when a woman's on her period in the same vicinity as me, I unfortunately can smell it. And my daughter has like the weird. She has my same shape nose, and she has my same sense of smell. And it is not a fun time, man. It's not what you think it is. It's not like a power I'd recommend for anybody. I smell everyone's butthole in this room right now.
I just took a shower for the record.
I'm trying to switch cameras and I just turned ours off.
Man,
Smell your butthole.
That's terrible.
hey, yeah, and you need to wash it.
Thing is
I
dirty.
smell it and it's not that pleasant.
Get you a
Hey, man,
bidet
just
or
for you
something.
guys, man, I took a shower right before we started, so if you could,
I did
you
too.
can't smell my butthole.
Nah, my connection's not that good, man.
Hey,
I can't smell anything in your room right now.
Smell of vision.
Just these gentlemen in here and whatever they got going on in their nut sacks, because somebody needs to clean up a little bit better.
Anyways,
Yeah.
let's
This
get
is a
back to
Patreon episode.
talking about movies here.
Going off the deep end.
All right, yeah, we derailed, guys. Bring it back, Jay.
Let me throw out some movies here that came to mind when I thought about this.
okay.
Inception. Dang, I had a whole list from just a second ago. Arrival.
This is why I tell JP to write notes.
Interstellar.
Contact,
That one didn't come to mind. That one's
Matrix.
no. Oh, The Matrix was one of them, definitely. There was a bunch, man.
Think of any?
Shutter
Oh.
Island. I mean, think of Shutter Island. The
Shutter
end of
Island.
Shutter
One of my
Island.
favorites.
That was like a one movie. I left the movie theater and I was like, "What is real? Am I real? Are you guys all punking me right now?" Let me-
that from that movie?
I felt like that because I mean, in the end of it, he thought he was playing his life, and it was all a setup,
That was just all trauma.
all a setup.
Yeah.
They set that up to let him play out his mind, which
Yeah.
makes me wonder: are you guys doing that to me?
David, do you want to tell him?
No, I have no idea. See, I'm just the guest.
No, you
here.
got to tell
The
JP that
guest
this has all
host.
been a part of a.
Yeah,
big
we're just trying to
shenanigans.
get you here. He's gonna smell you real good and
Yeah, I'm gonna smell
fall
the truth.
downhill.
What other ones are there? There's a lot of them, right?
Yeah. Would you have any, Jay? I'm sure you've thought about this way more than we have.
Oh,
Any other
like,
ones that we didn't mention?
sci-fi movies.
Yeah, that play into
Yeah,
like
so War of the Worlds.
yeah.
The
Ooh,
the
good
Tom
one.
Cruise one was pretty good. That one was pretty good. I'm a huge Philip K. Dick fan, So you're talking Total Recall,
Yeah.
Minority Report, Paycheck, Second Variant. Um, there was also what's the one they did with Keanu Reeves?
Chain
A s-
Reaction.
no, A Scanner Darkly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the awesome thing about Philip K. Dick is I don't know if anyone's ever read his work. I keep asking people on my podcast if they've ever read him. You know, people will reference Minority Report or Total Recall or something like that because he deals with so many of these different ideas that are like literally coming true. And no one's really ever read his work. And dude, Philip K. Dick, who was a prophet put here on this earth to warn us what the fuck was going on, and he actually ended up either going crazy or going through like a series of spiritual
Yeah.
of spiritual encounters with what he called Valis, is the vast acting living intelligence system that he thought was either like gods or alien, like some type of alien species that was speaking directly to him. And like his life story is fascinating. Actually, his last 3 books are kind of autobiographical with his experiences. And he wrote like thousands of pages of notes about all of his experiences. They were put in a book called his Exegesis. And like this dude, he believed that at the end of his experiences that Valis was beaming to him details of a conspiracy, and he said that the intelligent being was trying to tell him that the American Empire is in the American Republic was in danger of becoming an American Empire, exactly as the Roman Republic had become the Roman Empire, and it was trying to give him information so that he could stop the Republic turning into an empire. And it actually like gave him information about the Nixon hearings that were going on when he was being impeached, and he ended up dictating it dictated a letter to him that he sent to one of the congressmen that were trying to, the one that was like most vociferously trying to get him out of office. And it told him that the transcripts of the tapes were forgeries, and that they needed to get their hands on the real tapes to prove that they had falsified evidence and all that stuff, and actually helped him get impeached. So I mean, the dude, like this guy was out of control, not only like with the shit that because I mean, just think of Minority Report pre-crime. They're working on that shit right the fuck now. Think of Total Recall, implanting memories in your brain. They're working on that shit right now. And
do you think
doesn't
they
even
just started working on that recently, or do you think it's something that's been in motion for a while?
been in motion for a long time?
That's what I think too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you just look at MK Ultra, they were already trying to implant memories in everybody's minds then, with what Ewan Cameron was doing up in Canada, and what there was a book I read. It was called Poisoner in Chief. It was about Sidney Gottlieb. He ran the technical department of the CIA. I forget which division it was, and this guy was actively trying to figure out how to use LSD to wipe everybody's memories and implant new ones, like a Manchurian Candidate. They got one of their people killed, threw him out a fucking window because he freaked out and he was going to talk. You know what I mean? And the shit it all got swept under the rug, like, because this guy is like, he had a limp, he's just like, but actually there's, if you look up Sidney Gottlieb, he got grilled hard, in a lot of hearings. There was actually like, it was a big thing for a while before they, like swept it under the rug. But, Philip K. Dick was on top of all this shit along. He was writing like from the early 50s until his death in 84.
Have you seen the documentary called A Glitch in the Matrix?
No.
It's fairly new. I can't remember if it's on Hulu or Netflix, but they reference him a lot and a lot of his work. It's super interesting. That guy was onto something. He used to hold like big like conferences where people just come and listen to him, and he just spill it all. Like, you don't have to believe me. You can or you can't, but here it is. And people come from all over to listen to him. He's onto something. Well, he was onto something, I guess.
Yeah. So how does someone like that know? How do they know so much?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Listening, or has he seen it before?
But the weird thing is, like, so far back that was, he
Right.
didn't have access to internet or anything like that. Like, he had, I don't know how he figured it out. I don't know.
Right.
Well,
It's
he
not
drew
like
a lot
there's
of
more to it.
inspiration from he studied philosophy in college before they booted him out. He was actually in ROTC, and it was a required course in I think it was at USC. I think it was he might have been at Berkeley, whatever it was. And he just couldn't get ROTC. Like, he just was terrible at it, and he failed out of college because of it. and he was always like heavily into philosophy, and a lot of those, I don't know, kind of lines of inquiry kind of go there, right?
Right.
He was very much obsessed with the idea of more powerful consciousnesses imposing their worldview on weaker consciousnesses,
Mhm.
which we can see now.
Yeah, that's today.
Yeah, that's today, but that's been going on for a long time,
Oh, yeah.
thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah, now it's just obvious.
Yeah,
He had like a lot of bizarre ideas. Like I think he wrote a book about like say like what if Nazi Germany really took over the world? Like
Mm.
where would
yeah,
where would we be? Like things like
yeah.
that. And he's just like
That would be a
a
very
whole bunch
interesting
of crazy
thing to
ideas.
play out.
Yep,
It's
that's Man in a High Castle, and he
Yep.
actually wrote that book using the I Ching. Do you know what the I Ching is?
I don't.
I do, but can you explain it for JP?
Yeah, the I Ching it's an ancient Chinese. I guess it's kind of like not voodoo, but um, kind of like tarot cards, but with these little pieces that you throw. You know, and the way that they fall, they're all like little sticks. The way that they fall, you open up the book and you cross reference how they landed and things like that, and it tells you, you know, certain little horoscopy type things. But he did the research for Man in a High Castle over the course of like 3 years, and he read every high ranking Nazi member's memoirs and diaries from that period, and he said it was like the hardest research he's ever done for a book in his life, because he was just sickened, you know, every single night reading that shit.
Yeah.
And
Fuck you up.
and it's actually, I'll come back to it, but that's where he got the idea for how to for do androids dream of electric sheep, which became the movie Blade Runner.
That's
so
so
cool. Damn,
so
this guy did Blade Runner too.
yeah, oh yeah, he did Blade Runner for sure, for sure. Actually, so this is I'll finish up with this, and then I'll tell you how he came up with Blade Runner.
Okay.
Is he so Man in the High Castle, like I said, he did all that research, and whenever he was stuck at a point in a book, he would throw the I Ching and it'd be like, oh well, I guess this guy's just gonna die, and that's how he wrote it. I'm like, yo, dude, that's fucking crazy. You just you know, you're spending all this time like researching the book, and you're just gonna throw it. Yeah, he dies, whatever. And he actually said that's why there was no ending to the book, is because the I Ching wouldn't give him one. So yeah, that's the idea for Man in the High Castle, is that Germany and Japan win the war, and they partition the United States into 3 zones. The West Coast goes to the Japanese, the East Coast goes to the Nazis, and there's like a neutral zone in the middle. It's kind of like the Wild West. And you know, all the show me your papers and all that type of shit. It's really like a super fascinating book. It was made, they made it into a mini series on Amazon, which got expanded into like 3 or 4 seasons. So the first season is actually the book. Everything after that is, you know, it's fiction made up by Amazon, which they did okay with. You know, they did.
What's
It's
it
kind
called?
of Man in the High Castle.
Oh, it is? I'm
Yeah.
gonna look that up.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
interested already.
it's on Amazon. It's a really good show. Amazon actually also did a really good. It's like some of his short stories were adapted into like a Black Mirror type of show. So I think it's called Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams or something like that. That's a really good one too. Amazon really killed it on that one, actually.
I'm about to check that out. That sounds cool.
Yeah,
Black Mirror is another good example of where we're
Black
listing
Mirror
things
is
that-
great. Yeah,
and Westworld too.
Everybody keeps
First
telling me to
season.
watch Westworld. I know, like I
Just
have
watch
to
season
definitely
1.
watch it.
Yeah.
But it's on like Showtime or some shit. Is it HBO or Showtime?
Yeah, HBO.
Something like that. I
HBO.
ain't fucking with that. I got too many subscriptions.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's why I won't
well,
get Disney Plus.
we'll talk off air, man. I got you.
Word. And yeah, that's where he got the idea for do androids dream of electric sheep, is because he noticed that he was like, so these Nazis are regular ass fucking people, but how did they turn cold, right? Like, how did they believe that you should just experiment on humans willy-nilly and, you know, put them in internment camps, and that the Jews were bad and all that stuff? You know, he that's where he got the idea, was like they were automatons. And that's where he got the idea for Blade and Blade Runner. He actually did not agree with Ridley Scott on the direction that he took the movie. And originally the first screenplay that they did, he looked at it, he was like, this is terrible, you guys need to rewrite this is fucking bad.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, Ridley Scott wanted to paint the androids as superhuman, like this is the next step, this is the next evolution of humans. He was very much like a transhumanist kind of he made Aliens and all that stuff. and he's like sitting there with Philip, and Phil's like, no, you don't get it. These guys are not better than humans. They're cold, they're emotionless, they lack the sympathy that is the best part about the nature of humans. And he was just like, well, agree to disagree, you know. And what's really crazy is that, so this is kind of like where his exegesis kind of all comes into it, is that and I just read this as like, it's a little, he was talking about Valis was kind of challenging him in this period when he was accepting the contract to do Blade Runner, and they wanted him to do a novelized version of the movie, but to make the novel more like the movie. Because like the movie did a pretty good job of following the novel, but there are some key points where it diverges. And so they were going to pay him basically around like $500,000 to make that novel version of the movie. But they said that he had to take the original version out of print, and he chose instead to do a novel called Timothy Archer for $7,500 instead of taking the $500,000 deal, because he felt like cosmically, Valis would, that's what Valis wanted him to do, and it was kind of like a challenge for him. And I'm just sitting there like, this guy's my fucking hero. I love Philip K. Dick. That's my dude.
Yeah.
And and a lot of people get stuck on the sci-fi predictive programming. While I do think that some of that it is slipped in, even though it's tough to tell. Especially, it would probably go back to H.G. Wells. Now, some motherfucker we could talk about, but Philip K. Dick does not strike me as one of these predictive programming guys. He is, he's an anomaly and a rogue. And he just like he is, in my opinion, the greatest American novelist of all time.
Where do you think it stemmed from? What got in his head to make those kind of movies and stories and stuff? Well,
I really
stories,
don't. I don't know. I think he was just observant.
Really?
I think he could just see where things were and where it was going to go. And it's totally, all his shit's totally out there. He's got books. Like Time Out of Joint is like, it's a fascinating one where it's one of his lesser known novels, but it's this guy that just lives in like everywhere town USA, and he's just like, he lives he makes a living by entering into a contest every day in a newspaper, and it's like a puzzle, and he's got to learn, he's got to figure out this puzzle, and he just keeps winning and winning. He's winning hundreds of thousands of dollars, all that stuff. So his life is comfortable, but things just start like breaking down. Like he walks up to a soda pop stand, and it just like dissipates in front of him, and all that's left on the floor is a piece of paper that says soda pop, and he just puts it in his pocket. Things just kind of keep crumbling around on him. Turns out like he's actually been placed in this simulation because there's a war between humans on the moon and humans on Earth, and they put him in this simulation so he could continue to do his work because he was going to stop doing his work. And it's just like, it almost like is a precursor to the Matrix a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like 54.
Man, that's so bizarre. That's so long ago to have these ideas.
Right. And I love listening to his interviews. It's somewhere you can find a bunch of his interviews on YouTube. There's one of his best ones, I think, is it's like 1979 rare Philip K. Dick interview. Someone was interviewing him for like, they were going to put him in a chapter of like great sci-fi novelists. And he just spills the beans on all that stuff. But he's like, I just picked up Time Out of Joint the other day, and I was looking in it, and he was describing the scene that I was just telling you about. And he's like, far fucking out, man. And this is like 20 years later. And he's just like, fucking spacey shit. He was like, now, if you'd have picked this up, you'd have thought that this writer had turned on, like he's talking about doing LSD like hundreds of times. He was like, but I hadn't touched LSD at that point. It was still 1954. And that's one of the things he gets a knock on. Everybody thought that he was, especially with A Scanner Darkly, they thought that he was trying to exploit the drug culture at the time when he'd only done LSD a couple of times. He was addicted to amphetamines so that he could write at a certain point of his life. But that was basically it. He did some street dope and, had to go to fucking, his like liver was all fucked up from bad street dope. But, at a certain point, he didn't touch drugs anymore. He was just that dude,
Yeah. Yeah, that's bizarre. That's pretty cool. He's something, that's for sure.
What do you think about the term drop feeding with all this stuff and how it plays into it?
Drop feeding. What's that?
Oh, I like being the guy that knows something that the room doesn't know.
I mean, I know what it is. Will you explain it to Jay for me, please?
Well played, JP. Well played. I may have the words messed up. I think that's the term that's being used nowadays, but it's basically what you're talking about with these sci-fi movies and stories, that they're putting like little doses of it out there for the civilization to start absorbing it, start comprehending it, and subconsciously accepting it, basically, and then they're going to start turning it into reality, basically, into our lives. Like, it's used in a lot of contexts, and it's something that's I believe it's very CIA driven, and I think it plays into Hollywood a lot with a lot of different stuff.
So do you mean
For
like
sure.
they put like little snippets like in the news, like, oh, we've seen another UFO today, but they play it down like, not that big of a deal, another UFO.
Yeah, kind of. And like I was explaining this to my friend the other day, because I brought the term up to her too, and she hadn't heard of it. But like as an example of one that always sticks out to me is the James Bond movies. Every few years they put out a new James Bond movie, and every James Bond movie there's a couple of new really high tech gadgets to try to top the last movies. And most of the time you see it, you're like, I don't know about all that shit. They couldn't pull that off. And then within like 2 years, it becomes something that the military has, they announce that the military has. That's an example, in my opinion, of drop feeding. They're like getting you, like one of the Bond movies, he had like a stealth camouflage vehicle, and it's basically taking photos of the surroundings to make a hologram, like a Predator type of look. And when you watch that a few years back, it's like, nah, that's not going to happen. And then they fucking have that out there nowadays. It's insane. So that's an example of drop feeding.
Yeah, no, and I do think that happens. I think H.G. Wells is one of the best examples of that. But since you were just talking about James Bond, I just got through reading the first like 4 or 5 James Bond novels, Ian Fleming, and this guy was tied in with MI5, like this. And
really, that's very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely, so his life is also fascinating. But
is that like in the stance of recruitment for English guys, or what? In what context? Context. I can't talk tonight. What way was he involved with them?
Yeah, so he was like an asset, right? So he would be somebody that would drop feed for the MI5, to make to kind of make the life of a spy glamorous. It was as the Cold War was kind of ramping up, so it was to get people to see the Soviets, the Soviet communists, as the enemy, and and just to make the idea of spycraft cool.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more to it, of course, but they would do this all the time, right? Like they would make all these kinds of cool gadgets and stuff like that. But it's a great example of reality following art, where you have these instances where you have presidents and people like the head of the CIA, Alan Dulles, asking his technical divisions guys if they can make that James Bond thing that they just saw in the that they just read about in With Russia from Love. Like, can you make a suitcase that shoots bullets? Can you actually have like a little knife that comes off the side if you need to stab somebody? And the guys in the technical division are like, no, but do you want some poison pills? We got hydrogen cyanide and shit. Like, you can try that. No, we don't have a briefcase that shoots bullets. No.
What about an ink pen that has a throwing blade inside of it?
Right. And actually with From Russia with Love, that book is about setting up honeypots, right? So the Russians set up a honeypot to entrap James Bond. They get it like a beautiful woman, and they get her to, so that they can trap him. And they were filming him making love to her so that they could, after they murdered James Bond, they'd put it out there into the press in France or something like that, and let that circulate around the world so that they could. It's literally just an operation to kill James Bond and to make the MI5 look bad. Literally just that. And I mean, honeypots, Jeffrey Epstein, fucking Ghislaine Maxwell, all these guys.
Hey, fun fact, my nickname in prison was Honeypot. But that's a different episode, maybe for the Patreon.
Did they stir the pot?
No comment.
Yeah, man. But what else did you mention? You had mentioned something before Ian Fleming, or before James Bond. Oh yeah, yeah. Like in Hollywood and shit like that. Yeah, they definitely do that in Hollywood, though. They definitely do that. And I mean, these a lot of these Hollywood movie productions, they work directly with like the Pentagon, right? Like Transformers. You know, it's like, well, you're gonna need all those tanks. Yeah, yeah. We'll get you like realistic looking tanks and shit, but we need to look at the script first.
Yeah.
And if there's any suggestions or changes we want to make, we'll do that. You know, they've been working hand in hand for a long time, all the way back since fucking Disney was selling fucking war bonds for the U.S. Army during World War II, like with Donald Duck and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
buy your war bond. I can't do a Daffy Donald
My
Duck.
brother,
I
my
don't
brother
even
does a
know
good
I
Donald
tried.
Duck. Yeah.
It's, that is a good one.
That was
Spot
pretty
on.
good. Yeah.
That was good.
My brother's
Sound-
really good at it. I can't do it.
Sounds like you could do it too, though. That was good.
Oh, you'll stop it.
Pretty
Don't
good.
flatter me, girls.
That's interesting.
oh,
What's so I wonder what have you seen lately that's where you think it's the future is headed?
What have I seen lately? Where I think the future is heading. Well, I just watched Things to Come, which it was a movie made in the 30s. It was an H.G. Wells novel. The book is called The Shape of Things to Come, and that might not be a good example because it's not a recent movie. I'm trying to think of like a new movie that I've seen.
Let me say this. I think one of just kind of came to me like you've seen The Martian, right? With I forget his name now.
Matt Damon.
Matt
Yep,
Damon.
Matt Damon. Life on Mars, right? And I feel like that is in our near future. Musk is trying to get us onto Mars. That movie was made a couple of years ago.
Oh
Right.
wait, you guys are round ballers. Y'all believe?
What
y'all
if
believe in a
Mars
round
isn't
Earth?
real, guys?
Yeah.
Mars isn't real. It's plasma.
Hey, I don't know where these gentlemen stand, but I don't believe anything in space. I'm basically on Eddie Bravo's train. These guys are way more grounded than I am.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
off in space.
Some days I'm
Which
like,
isn't
we're
real.
in a simulation. This is all a joke. Other days I'm like, we can go to the moon. Why not? Other days I'm like,
Can
the
we?
moon is hollow, or it's just
Is
it's
it?
fake. I don't know anymore.
It's just
I
a
don't even
projector,
know.
right?
Yeah, speaking
I-
speaking of Hollow Moon, man, H.G. Wells did a book called First Men in the Moon. And these guys get to the moon and they get inside and it's hollow and it's just filled with these insect-like aliens. And they're running around and right, they're way lighter since they're used to the ground. They're small and all that shit. And these guys are just like running around. They're so scared because there's thousands of them and they don't know what the fuck to do. And then they accidentally like kick one and it just dies. And they were like, it's like I could see it in my head. And they look at each other and they go, and they just fuck them all up. They just fuck them all up. They fight their way back to the ship. They're just kicking these fucking insect alien things and killing them all. And they get back and they get up. You know, somehow that took them, 200 pages to write, but I could have done that for them in 25.
Short story.
But yeah, H.G. Wells, he was definitely one of these people that was trying to use his work to influence the way that people would see space. And he was big. He was a big world government guy. He was like part of the Fabian Society and the Round Table Group and all that shit. And actually, so H.G. Wells was tutored by T.H. Huxley, who's the grandfather of Julian Huxley and Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley did A Brave New World and all that stuff. Do you guys know what A Brave New World is?
Yeah, you're saying a lot of shit that's over our heads, but our
I know,
listeners
I'm
are
sorry.
smarter than us, and they're enjoying it.
And Aldous Huxley turns around and he tutors George Orwell. But he was just like a French tutor. He wasn't like George Orwell, if anybody, was like he was actually probably another rogue. George Orwell was the man. But yeah, so with H.G. Wells, like he wrote The Shape of Things to Come, and that detailed the Second World War. Now he was writing this in like 1940, and he was basically saying the way that the book was laid out is that there's going to be a Second World War. He pins the date. He says it's going to be 1945. He pins the area that it starts in. It took place. The war was set off by like a small little exchange between a civilian and a Nazi soldier in Danzig in Poland. So right before World War II, there was a lot of friction there on the Polish border. Obviously, that was the first fucking country that they invaded. And he pins the end of the war also 1949. And the book is all about this new organization that comes about after the war, called Wings Over the World. And and their goal is to eliminate national sovereignty, create a world government based on aviation supremacy. And he was kind of using it was kind of supposed to be like a trade and peace organization, but you got to stamp out all the sovereign nations first before you create your world government. So I was like, that dude, H.G. Wells, he knew some shit. Like some people like Philip K. Dick, they just tap into something for however reason. They're just speaking to the right fucking aliens and they get it right. And H.G. Wells, he was one of these guys, sitting there like reading Malthus, what I mean? There's too many fucking people. It's overpopulated. He was big on overpopulation and, and he was a big world government guy. He wrote The Open Conspiracy, which isn't a novel, actually. It's like, it's a plan. And it's like, okay, we're going to take over the world, but we're going to do it in front of everybody. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's the model that they've used, in the past, like 50, 60, 70 years or whatever it is. And it was like, okay, this is what it's got to be a technocratic society. It's got to be a bureaucratic society. I don't know if he used the word technocratic. I don't know if it exists. It did exist at the time, but I don't know if
I can't even spell that.
Technocratic, technocratic.
Well done, sir.
Can you use it in a sentence? Oh wait, you just did.
My technocratic overlords wish to stamp me into oblivion.
Let's back this train up a few exits. You said
Yes.
Globers. Are you a flat earther?
Nah, no, not really. But
You were
I'm
mocking,
more of
bro?
like, yeah. What's that?
You were mocking the flat earthers?
Oh, a little bit. No.
There's a
I'm,
little dig
I'm,
there, man?
I was at no. It was all in good fun. Actually, like I have watched more hours of flat Earth documentaries, videos, podcast. I listen to all these podcasts more than anything else. I don't believe, and that includes like World War II. You know what I mean? Like
You're still not convinced?
No, I'm fascinated. No, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's a good argument in some cases, and there's a lot of things about it that do make you go, like NASA.
That's a big.
That is a big. But it's one of these things where I'm just gonna say the Earth is a globe until I can actually take a spaceship up there and check it out. But I will say this much: I went skydiving. And one of the dudes I was with, he was like, make sure you're looking out and not just at the ground. Too many people just look at the ground. Make sure you're looking out so you can see the curvature of the earth. I jumped out that plane and I was like, nah, dog, that is flat. That's
Really?
totally flat. Oh, yeah, it's totally flat. There's no
Really?
curvature. There's no fucking curvature. I don't know why he said
Wow.
there was curvature. There's no curvature. And that's why you get all
You
these
didn't have the right
pilots and
goggles
shit.
on, the fisheye goggles, man.
Yeah,
I forgot to put them on you. You
Yeah.
had the clear coat.
And the thing that fucks with me too about flat Earth is, the you can take one of those high powered zoom lenses and you can still see the ship over what is, they're far enough out that they're supposed to be dipping, but that could also be refraction. Who the fuck knows? It's just like, it's way above my pay grade. It's one of those things like that is the biggest lie. That would have to be the biggest motherfucking conspiracy of all time. But I've also like uncovered some pretty big ass conspiracies. I just had David Warner Matheson on my show, and he basically says that there was a conspiracy to wipe out the connection with the celestial metaphors, the celestial myths that all the religions and myths that we know of are based on, by like fucking around with the way that you draw out the constellations and things like that. And it would have to be like it would have to, and he lays it out in this book called The Undying Stars, where it's been like a 2,000, 3,000 year old conspiracy, and also like hiding all the ancient civilizations and stamping those out and hiding, who the fuck knows, giants. Like, I don't know. I'm fascinated by giants.
Yeah, I got into a giant trip a couple years ago, man. That's really interesting shit.
It is. They keep finding these skeletons, and even if the 30-foot ones are fake or they're not real or whatever, they found too many like 12-foot giant skeletons.
That's a big dude.
Yeah.
And the
That is a big
fucking
dude.
the Smithsonian comes in and they scoop it up and say, yeah, we're gonna test this, and it's never seen again, never heard from again. shit like that.
Have you ever met
Um,
anybody who's 7 foot tall? That's a big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 feet is big. 12 is huge.
Yeah.
12 is
giant.
enormous.
Well
No,
said,
it's a
Dave.
giant.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I can't even and there's also this guy. I don't know what to think of him. Have you ever heard of this guy on YouTube? He has this channel called Mud Fossil University.
Hmm.
You ever
Never heard
him?
of her.
And it's weird ass shit. Like this guy, he's talking about a lot of these statues that they keep finding. He's like, it's actually biological people that have been fossilized in mud, and I have the proof. And here's the blood vessels and stuff like that. I'm just like, whoa, okay. And he finds a lot of
Really?
giants. He's got like giant bones. He's like, if this humerus was attached to a giant, this giant would be 20 feet high. I'm like,
Jesus.
Wow.
What
on.
continent is that happening in, or is it all over?
I think it's all over. I've read a book called the Ancient Giants of America, something like that. It
Yeah.
was by this guy that was like 7 foot tall, and he kept coming across newspaper clippings from the 1900s, and he was just interested in giants because he was tall as fuck, and he
want to know my people.
yeah, he was like he was like a
No.
documentarian for HBO or some shit, and he just wrote this book, and it's just got all the newspaper clippings in there, and it's just like it details it. Sometimes there's pictures, and then you've got there's chapters in there where they find skulls with the elongated skulls, like the
Mhm.
Yeah,
pharaohs.
that's basically
and
what my skull is like, man. I got a big ass head.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just different species of man, right? Would that make the most sense?
It would to me.
Yeah.
I don't know about the elongated skull ones though. That
See, what-
one, I don't
That's
know how
some
that
alien
one
and they,
shit.
happened.
well,
That
now
could
let
be.
me say this because they used to say that like the Egyptians stuff like that, they put these tight wraps around their head that made them
true.
have that elongated skull. That's why they have those big hats and all that. And
Yeah.
Yes.
they
Yeah,
said that they
So-
said that they did that,
Yeah,
and I don't know why.
Asian
It's a cover
cultures,
up.
the women, they fold their feet in half
Yeah.
and they
Make
walk
their
that way.
necks long and
Yeah.
just strange things that I don't know.
mean,
People
you can-
find.
Well, that's
you can
totally
change your
true.
own body.
Maybe they got influenced by somebody though to do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Like we want to be like the wise, powerful aliens that just visited. We want heads like them.
See, now I think the long
Yes.
heads came from the Anunnaki because those guys always wore them long hats and stuff, and I
Well, see-
think they had a long head underneath it.
Yeah, same with the long necks.
I love the
too.
Anunnaki. I'm an Anunnaki guy, so that's
Yeah.
where I always come back to.
Yeah. Well, any culture that stretches their body,
Yeah.
like you see a lot of people, they'll do that with like their earlobes or their
Yeah, true.
genitals, and they want to be just like them, and that's their goal.
There's a reason.
You
There's
mock
gotta be
what you
something.
like, Was
Yeah,
it,
there is this.
imitation?
There's this interesting case in Chile where they uncovered a bunch of these skulls, and they found that like 10% of the elongated skulls they found seemed natural, and the other 90 seemed like they were that stretched head kind of thing that you're talking about, where
Really?
they wrap the baby's head. So what the guy in the book posits is that maybe it was kind of what Willie was just talking about, where they were trying to emulate the people that actually had the long skulls, and the ones that they found with the long skulls had like more proper burials, and the other ones that they found were just like regular as peasant burials.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it
that's
was
really
interesting.
interesting.
So
like
definitely
you guys
something
are-
there.
You guys are imposters. You
Yeah.
get a regular
Bunch of
burial.
peasants. Build
Throw
the
them in the pit
pyramids.
with all the other peasants.
This is Sparta.
Man, this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, man, I fucking and it all comes. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why conspiracies, when I started coming across them, they didn't seem that fucking crazy to me, because I'm like, well, I did see Terminator. You know, like that makes sense to me. Time travel, I love time travel. I fucking love time travel.
Same here,
Every
man.
time travel movie, I'm all about it. Like, of course, the Terminators, Back to the Future, and then there's all
Looper?
the fuckery. What's that?
What about Looper? Did you like
I
that
was
one?
I was just about to mention Looper. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And that guy, who's the guy that plays young Bruce Willis? What the fuck's that guy's name?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, exactly. He just played Snowden too. This guy he is really good at impressions. Like, he did a really good Bruce Willis, and he did a really fucking great Snowden. And I'm not exactly sure why they did this, but if you're watching Snowden, I know it's not a sci-fi movie, but maybe it is.
Heard it here,
uh,
folks.
I don't know why, but so if you watch the Snowden interview, he says, I wish I could remember everything that he said off the top of my head, but he said, I'm Edward Snowden, I'm 29 years old, and he names out his titles, and it's all like technical assistance and stuff like that. But in the movie, Jason Gordon-Levitt says that he is the like a close personal advisor to the deputy of the CIA. And I was like, why'd the movie add that? And then from then on out, I was like, because I had watched that interview like 100 times. Back when it all came out and stuff like that, I was watching the movie. I was like, I don't remember him saying he was an advisor to the deputy of the CIA. That I don't remember that. So I double checked it and I was like, nope, you didn't fucking say it. But Jason Gordon-Levitt, fucking dope. That was a really good impression of Snowden. But yeah, he was fucking awesome in Looper. I love that movie. I love that idea of because of course, like a crime syndicate would take control of the time of the time machine and fucking use it to whack people, or because that's what it was. They couldn't kill people in the future without getting caught. So they would send the bodies. They would send the people back in time, and then Jason Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, it was a mindfuck movie. I really dig. I need to watch it again.
Oh man, it was so good. And what else? I mean, of course, there's the Time Machine, which is based off the H.G. Wells novel. And that was who's that guy with the monkey face? Guy Pearce, right? Guy Pearce.
Oh, sucks to be Guy Pearce.
Yeah, monkey face guy. Hey man, he's still better looking than I am. So he's probably...
Oh man, don't say that. You're handsome. That's why I'm not off camera right now. I can't handle
it. What are you doing over there, bro?
Nothing. I'm just recording. Mom, go back upstairs.
Nothing, Mom.
Why do you have a pillow in your lap?
It's not a pillow. It's a safety cushion.
Man, I feel so bad for my mom. She must have washed so many crusty socks back in my adolescent. Like, I don't know. This woman, she deserves a fucking
moms,
medal.
Bro. Same
Shout
here.
out to moms. I don't know why I did that. She's not dead. I hope she doesn't fucking die now.
Dude, that was terrible. We gotta edit that out.
Yeah,
Mom's just still with us, damn it.
Whenever I'm playing beer pong, I go, "This is for baby Jesus," sitting all sweet and tight, passing that. I'll come at you like a spider monkey, Chip.
Too soon for that lady.
Trophies.
I was just bringing it full circle when you were talking about that lady with the spider monkey.
I like it. I love full circles, bro. That's how we work. All right, we're gonna take a short break, guys. I'm your host tonight, the man behind the curtain. We're going to take a short break. We're going to do some ads, and then we'll come back for 6 questions. Stay tuned.
Oh, my God. This guy.
What an idiot. Can't click buttons with my crotch, man. Hang on one second. We're still here with you.
You got to turn on the video.
Oh, is that what
Where'd the camera go?
All right, there we are.
Sheesh.
It's all going to be edited out, bro. It's movie magic. All right, anybody needs to take a piss or anything?
Yeah.
Or call your moms. Make sure she's still good.
Yeah, man. I should probably call her.
Yeah. Make sure she's all right.
Whoa, Patreon material happening in the break, guys. We're back with Jay, David, JP, and your host, the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, the man in the energy ball. David Quadnet is going to be asking our guests the 6 questions that everyone wants to be asked. David, are you ready?
Yeah, Jay, are you ready?
Ooh, I like it.
Am I ready? Hang on. Yep, I'm ready.
All right, nice. All right, so first question is, you have the power to make one law. What law do you create?
Okay, so
Let me be Joe Rogan for a moment. David, get that mic just about a fist away from your mouth, man.
A whole fist?
Yeah, get it a little bit closer.
How's that?
The closer you are, the better. It's going to sound great in the end of it.
Okay.
Pull it around just a
Jay,
little bit more.
Jay, you can hear me, Jay?
Yeah, actually, I know it's a little unorthodox, but it sounds better with the microphone in your mouth.
In your mouth.
Where do you think mine's been this whole time?
Can you hear it now?
That's why I'm on camera.
Yeah.
Is that better?
All right, back to the questions, guys.
Yeah, all right. So if I can make one law, I thought about this, and it's like, all right, so that you're assuming that I'm dictator of the world, right? Is this a national law or is it a world law?
It's
As
your
world
law.
government?
Like you
Okay,
say it
so-
and it goes like genie in a bottle.
Okay, so world government has been instituted. I have eradicated all sovereign nations, and
Nice.
I am
All right.
I am number one. It would
You
be
are Kamala Harris.
I am Kamala Harris. Yeah, so it's a package of laws, really. It's a package of environmental and pollution laws. It's not like that fake ass green climate change bullshit. It's actually like, okay, Commercial fishing vessels are not allowed to dump their fucking plastic fishing nets in the ocean anymore. They're not allowed to drag the ocean bottom and destroy the coral reefs, and they're not allowed to drill for oil in an unethical and in an irresponsible way. And y'all motherfuckers have to stop creating petroleum-based plastic products. Everything other than medical materials has to be biodegradable plastic, and we need to get work on the microbes that eat all the plastic. As long as that thing doesn't turn into sentient, as long as those microbes don't turn sentient, we're good.
Micro monster.
Yeah.
Like a good book.
And yeah, fucking, you're not allowed to use mass agriculture anymore. No more pesticides. You got to go to more local farming. And all these problems, the three problems that I just listed, those are the biggest things that generate the rising heat, the rise in climate and stuff like that, by their own standards, by their own numbers and things like that. And no more geoengineering. Cut that shit out. So that's the package of laws that I would create.
Bro, you're fitting to put me out of a job. I'm in oil.
No, don't do it irresponsibly. You can drill oil. Just make sure that, fucking the BP oil spill doesn't happen again. Because those guys are like, well, we don't need like all the cement, right? We don't have to make sure it works, right? I had nothing against oil. I got something against oil companies that decide that it's okay to cut corners.
Yeah, there definitely is a whole lot of Wild West bullshit still going on where it's just cowboy. You know what I mean? They just get after it, get her done, and
you got all the politicians in your pocket. You do what you please.
Yeah,
and that's been going on since the 80s.
Yeah, the thing that I hate the most about that and the oil field side of it is these giant corporations and these big fucking tycoon bastards just getting rich as shit off all these hardworking people doing that, and they're getting decent pay but not the greatest. And I just hate thinking about other people like that getting even more and more powerful, whether it be green energy or oil, fossil fuel type shit. I just can't stand those kind of people.
Yeah,
odds out.
It's fair.
Yeah, for sure. And notice how I didn't mention everybody has to drive electric vehicles. So
yeah, because that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, because the batteries are fucking radioactive.
Mining lithium is insane as well.
Yeah.
I mean, mining lithium itself is
Takes
a dirty
gas.
job.
Yeah, and our energy is not, solar and wind is not good enough to power our vehicles. So it's all.
Yeah, I would open up, I'd open up all those CIA files and say, yeah, okay, there is free energy, and they've been killing people that learn how to fucking run a carburetor off of water. So yeah, we're gonna start doing that.
Yeah, because there's no profit. Maybe one day.
No problem. I'll find a good job for you, JP. I'll find you.
Hell yeah, I'm down, man.
Yeah, that's it. All right, question number 2. What 3 words would you choose to describe yourself?
Yeah, I didn't put as much thought into this one. 3 words I used to describe myself. That would be persistent, procrastinator, and contradictory.
Perfect. Those actually makes perfect sense.
You a procrastinator, bro? Why do today what you can do tomorrow?
Yeah. I've been getting better at it. But it's still, it's still in there floating around. So, sometimes I wake up like, I don't have to wake up yet. Actually, I keep, I don't know if you guys know much about football, but I keep, one of my mantras is 28-3.
Nice.
And that was the score of the Patriots Falcons Super Bowl with 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yep.
And it's just, I wake up and I have that in my face every day to let me know, like, get the fuck up. Like, no matter how terrible things have been, there's still a whole, quarter and a quarter left. If Tom Brady can do it, you could do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, he is Captain America, so we give him that.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. What do you want to be remembered for?
It might be kind of cheesy, but just making a difference, right?
Yep.
I'd love to be remembered for doing the podcast and, maybe becoming some type of, I don't know, just some type of public figure that just speaks truth to power and just doesn't sugarcoat it. And I would love to get on like Fox or CNN or some shit and just get into a screaming match with like, fucking Anderson Cooper. Like, fuck you and your white ass hair, you little bitch.
Yeah, fuck Anderson Cooper.
Yeah, fuck
You
'em.
get a bullhorn and go hit the town, man. Shout it at the rooftops.
I'll make
Yeah.
some calls, man. We'll get you on Fox News.
Okay, cool. Yeah. If you do that, well,
Gotcha,
I'm
bro.
dictator of the world, so I could do that.
Yeah,
I forgot.
right.
I forgot.
You have
One of
good
your new
laws.
laws.
Yeah. First,
6
yeah.
o'clock.
I should have said first thing, but the first law would just be like all these guys get guillotined.
Yeah.
Starting with
It's fair. You'd have more support than you think.
yeah.
All right, question number 4. What is something you like that most people don't know about you?
Birds. I love hawks. I fucking love hawks. I get like real giddy when I see a hawk. Like I like bird watching, or like
Okay.
blue jays. Hawks are my spirit animal, but my name is Jay, so I really like to see a blue jay. Although
they're mean.
those, they're not only are they mean, they make the most annoying sound that there is. It just sounds like a baby screaming,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they're beautiful. You know.
I used to have a
I-
hawk that had a nest right at on top of a light post right outside of our house, and that thing every time you go outside, it just does that scream, that loud
Yeah.
whistle, and it's like, woo, don't look at it, it's gonna pluck my eyes out.
Jay, you
Get you, boy.
You would love it out here in Colorado, man. We're in some hawk and eagle
Oh,
country.
yeah.
They're
I
everywhere.
do. I saw my first eagle in the Rockies. I was
Yeah,
like,
Nice.
dude.
I
it's
almost
beautiful
lost
out here
it,
with
dude.
that.
That's a spirit animal right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Freedom.
There's
Yeah.
a bald eagle nest on my way to work. I look at it every day.
Nice.
Sometimes
That's
they're there,
incredible.
sometimes they're not, but you see them prowling all the time.
Yeah.
Just cruising
Yeah.
around.
Yeah, we got raptor hawks dime a dozen out here. They're just chill on a sign, just looking for rats.
Yep.
That's
Good.
so dope. Yeah, we got river hawks over here. I live on a river, the Merrimack
nice.
River. We got river hawks. Yeah,
That's
they're
awesome.
fucking-
Like
they're cool.
osprey and stuff like that.
Well, they're small. I don't know the scientific name for them. I don't, but they're a darker color. They're either a dark brown or a black. They're
That's
really,
really cool.
very
Yeah.
unique. Yeah, they're small.
Did you know that blue jays are in the same family as crows and ravens? Corvid family. A lot of people don't realize that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's
And I'm
pretty
over
cool.
here saying I'm the fucking bird watcher like this.
Hey, it's a hobby. You don't have to know anything. You just do it.
He just loves crows. He's a crow
I'm an
guy.
animal freak, man.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, we have I mean, it's Massachusetts, and I live like in more of a city area, so you have to go somewhere to. I mean, New
Yeah.
Hampshire's right there. Like talking like like it takes me so long to get to nature, but yeah, no, I've been big on camping my whole life, and like I was saying, I went out to the Rockies. Like that shit was incredible.
Dude, next time you're in town, let's roll.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
In studio.
Let's roll.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
I'm down.
Do you go as far as going like birding trips, like going on trips just to look for different species or just look for birds?
No,
Have you done that yet?
no.
I got a lot of buddies that are into that kind of stuff, and it gets addictive, man. It's a fun hobby. Although there is a
that's-
lot of homosexuals that are closet homosexuals, and that they're like, that's not the bird I was looking for. Put it away. But yeah, for some strange reason, the birding community has a lot of secret gays.
Not all birds like those worms.
Yeah,
That is a good notation there, Mr. E. Willie.
guys, that's a little public
It's where the
PSA.
gays hang out.
Yeah,
Dude.
birders,
so you
rest
know.
area friends, they're all the same.
I got your little worm.
You'll meet the same guys.
Okay, on that note, number 5. Let's see. If you could have any superpower, which would you choose and why?
Telekinesis and telepathy. I'd be Doctor Xavier. Yeah. Right, X-Men. Is that what his name is? Dr. Xavier.
Yep.
Dr. X. Mr. X. Dr. X.
Dr.
Yes.
Charles Xavier.
Professor X. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Professor X. Yeah, man. I always want to know what people are thinking. And I was kind of hit. And here's a movie that's a little science fiction-y, is What Women Want with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just, I remember I saw that in the theater when I was like 12 or something. I'm like,
my
oh,
God.
yeah, that's my dude. I would love that. And I actually just went back and I watched that very recently. Very misogynistic movie. I loved every moment of it.
Old girl was
Yeah.
like, I just looked at his dick. I just looked at it again.
It
He was
would be
like, "Yep."
canceled so
You see
fast.
that?
And he's like, you gonna
Yeah.
get it. You gonna get
Dude,
it.
but let me ask you this: how much more would you just hate people, though, knowing all those
Uh,
thoughts? You'd be like, man, you're a piece of shit. I know what you're thinking.
I mean, I know what I think. So, I mean, I hate people anyway. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Regardless of what they think.
at least like 60% of people, though, you would look at them and it would be nothing. It
Yeah.
would be, and every once in a while, I'd be like, Simpsons.
Mm, yeah.
That'd be
Kanye
scary
West.
to find out how dumb people really are.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I know I
I'm
have
always-
a ton of dumb thoughts, but they're nestled in between like very prolific ones. So
At
Yeah.
least you have thoughts. All right, that's the
Yeah.
first thing.
Right.
I'm always fascinated when people choose that as their power, man. Like, where does that come from? Why do you want to know what's going on around you with people?
Well,
Is
it's a great. I mean, I'm a people pleaser. I like making friends. I like making
Mhm.
people like me. It'd be a great tool for getting laid. But
it
also,
easy.
I did mention in there telepathy. So I would want telekinesis. I would want to control shit with my mind too. Like just of course you do the everyday shit, right? You'd
The
be
Jedi
like,
pimp.
I every fucking night that I use my computer as my television also, and every night I get in bed and the mouse is always on the fucking television stand, and I just I do it, and
Someday it's gonna come to you, man.
someday I'm like Grogu in fucking Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, let's see. Little question number 6, last one. Okay, if you can know the absolute truth on one conspiracy theory, which would it be?
Yeah,
This is the one.
the one, just one. I would say JFK, except I already know what happened, so I don't fucking need to know that one. Maybe, I guess Roswell, the alien thing, the ancient alien thing. See if it's all bullshit or not. Uh, there's like obviously a huge psyop going on, and they probably want to roll in the like Ancient Aliens is one of those shows. I might have lied about the flat Earth thing. That maybe I've watched more Ancient Aliens than flat Earth videos, because I do not believe Ancient Aliens, in the sense that like I think that human civilization was either it came about on its own or was unaided. Like the Anunnaki thing, I'm like, I have my days, right? But I think I would just want to know, you know what I mean? Is the Ancient Aliens things right? Was Roswell real? Are the things we're seeing in the sky actually aliens, or are they government craft? Is it a little bit of both? And if so, I would want to know what they're going to be rolling out. Because Warner von Braun on his deathbed had said that they were going to use aliens as they were going to fake an alien invasion in order to bring about a world government, or supposedly whatever he said.
Project Bluebeam.
Project Bluebeam, yeah, that's what it is. And I would want to know before they fucking do that alien invasion. I would want to know, because I love Independence Day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
my favorite president is Bill fucking Pullman. You know what I mean? Like, he is who else would have gotten an F-16 and then sacrificed himself for America? Nobody else. Barack Obama would not have got in an F-16. Neither would have Trump. Fuck what all the cute people say. Like, Trump would not
Yeah,
have
definitely not.
flown a fucking F-16. What's he say right before? He goes right in there with the nuke. You know what I'm saying? Like that, dude. Bill
For
Pullman.
America.
Bill Pullman for president.
Yeah.
Where is
Nice.
Bill Pullman? I haven't seen him in a long ass time.
He just did like a vaccine Pepsi commercial or something.
Oh.
Some shit.
Bill Pullman. I'm
he
more of a
sold out
Morgan
like
Freeman
everything.
president. Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman's pretty dope. Morgan Freeman's pretty dope. I like him. If Dick Gregory was still alive, I'd say Dick Gregory for president.
Harrison Ford. Get off my plane.
Harrison Ford, yeah, yep.
Air Force One.
Han Solo. You know what's fucked up about those Star Wars movies is when fucking your boy went back in time. Well, he went back. George Lucas went back and he cleaned them all up and added CG in the 90s. And there's that scene where he's in the cantina and the alien is trying to bring him to Jabba the Hutt, or he's just trying to kill him right there. And fucking like in the original movie, Han Solo just blasts him before he's got a chance to do anything. But in the remake, he fucking added the alien shooting first to not make Han Solo look like a murderer or
I
like
like
a
that Han
badass that
Solo
he
shot
is.
first. Yeah, he's a
Yeah, fuck
badass.
yeah.
Huh.
And
He's
then
a
they got him
fucking
going
cowboy.
over. They got him going over Jabba the Hutt's tail outside
Yeah, I
the
remember
Millennium
that.
Falcon. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You ruined my childhood. Unforgivable.
100%, man. Well, Jay, it's been a great time getting to know you, sir. I'm
Has
glad to
been.
have you in our new network of cool people in the podcast world. You're welcome to come back anytime you want to. We are going to be switching over to a 15-minute Patreon episode. If you'd want to join us, you have to take your shirt off. It's going to get a little dirty. It's going to get creepy. We're going to share inappropriate stories where it's uncensored. So if you want to join us, come on down and do it.
I'm there, bro. I'm there.
Let's do it, bro. Just give us a quick tease of something really fucked up you're going to share, so our
Jesus.
people want to jump on the Patreon.
Okay, something really fucked up. Um.
Think about that for a second, but plug your podcast also. Sacred Cow.
Okay, yeah. It's How to Kill a Sacred Cow. You can find that on YouTube for now. But the best way is to check out the audio feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you consume your podcasts.
Hell yeah. We're going to have all your links down below if you want to click them, you dirty
Blood
bastards.
Perfect. And as always, you can catch me on the gram at TOTJP.
Where can we find you, David? Do you want to be found?
You can't find me. I'm nowhere.
Ooh, he's
off
mystery
the
man.
grid?
Yeah, I
He's a private
I
one.
observe. I do not post.
Interesting.
Yeah, no one needs to know about me,
Okay,
Ooh, I
fair
like
enough.
it. It's so mysterious. I have an erection.
even though they're listening. It doesn't matter.
They know your full
Yeah.
name now.
Fuck you, phone. Stupid
You can
phone.
find me on the Instagrams. I am at Real E Willie. You can find me on YouTube as well at No Limits with E Willie. It's a channel that went dormant, but it's coming back real soon with more pranks. I got a bunch of crap I'm working on, and there's gonna be some more interviews coming too. So support your boys, guys.
Reach out to us at the email.
Truth or Theory Podcast at gmail.com. New shirts and crazy shit coming real soon.
Mm-hmm.
What else,
merch.
JP?
Merch.
JP may show some cleavage tonight. Oh, what you wearing?
Nice.
Speaking of merch, JP, what you wearing right there, buddy? Show
Rocking the-
Monica what you got on
Rocking
there.
the propaganda shirt.
Get up in that camera, boy. Show them titties.
Prop report.
There you go.
Monica and Brad, shout out to you guys. We love you.
Every
Can't
day,
find
man.
my
I watch-
shirt.
I listen to that fucking shit every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Same.
awesome, man.
I have
Yeah.
the weirdest crush on Monica.
Yeah, you're not
It's
the only
so
one. A lot of
weird.
people do.
It's not weird.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
The weird thing is Monica has the weirdest crush on me. Ooh, I said it.
Ooh.
What you gonna do, Monica? Respond.
She hasn't met me yet though.
Oh, I got to tell her that we shouted her out at the end of this. It's going to be hilarious. All right, guys. If you want to continue hearing this next crazy shit, you're going to have to throw that $4 down and sign up for the Patreon. Patreon.com, Truth or Theory Podcast. Only $4. JP, you're on it, right? No, he's not. David, you're on it, right?
Hell
I'm
yeah.
literally on it. It's my
JP,
show.
JP, you're on it because it's your show. David just became our newest Patreon member,
Hell yeah.
and
Yeah, thank
he
you for
loves
that,
it.
by the way.
He's
I gave up
Appreciate you.
coffee.
best
So,
Perfect.
$4 he's
Hey,
ever spent in
yeah.
his life.
Speaking of coffee, you can submit to buy me a coffee on here as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have
really?
Buy Me a
Okay,
Coffee.
there you
No
go.
one's ever done it, but it's
someone
just-
buy me a coffee. I can't afford it.
Yeah, if you want to join us, guys, go to patreon.com. That's going to come out the following night that this comes out, which this is not going to release until early August because we're stacking up episodes because we're on summer break. But we'll see you soon. Can I get 3 wolves in this woke wolf pack?
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Just howl in just a few seconds, Jay.
Take
I
the
Follow
got
their
you.
lead.
Take the clue.
Woke wolf pack.
Perfect.